Oh, yeah.
What do you think of that new logo, huh?
I think that's pretty sweet.
Shout out to John Shank of Floathouse Media. I hired him a while back to help me do some SEO stuff and some marketing stuff, and he happens to love doing digital animation. So he said, hey, what can we do to your logo? I said, let's have some fun with it.
Hooked it up. That was pretty sweet.
Hell
Yo,
yeah, man.
what's
Hell
up,
yeah.
Board is Board?
Board is Board 21.
Yo, Mom's on. Hi, Mom.
It's always good.
Looks like Matt was talking to himself earlier.
It was. I was, you know. I had to keep it real, just up front.
We have live chat on, so if you are watching, go ahead and give us a shout, ask us some questions.
Yeah, let us know if you can hear us, because we changed a few things. Actually, that was, man, in the housekeeping items, I suppose that's one of the first things I should laugh about. I started thinking that maybe it would be a good idea, since we're doing all this new fancy shit, that I should investigate streaming in 4K.
Ooh.
And so I reset up all the scenes in the programming within our software, and set stuff up for 4K in addition to 1080.
Jeez.
And and then I was like, okay, no, I'm testing the system processes, and like, does it work? Can it handle it? And it, instead of like the CPU running at 13%, it was running at like 65%.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't know. And then I started doing some more research, and like, don't stream at 4K. That's stupid.
It's a little bit much. We don't need to be in the fourth dimension.
Board is Board. How us guys? We're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're doing okay.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Kind of feels like a Monday.
9/5. Tuesday 9/5. It does feel like a Monday, because yesterday was a Monday, and most people, well, I don't know most people, but I wasn't very productive yesterday, but I was very productive today, and I'm sore, and it feels like a Monday.
Yeah, I was very productive all weekend myself, and I am very sore from yesterday. Building a retaining wall, that's always fun. Hard labor.
What are you retaining?
Just dirt.
Okay.
A front yard.
You might say water.
No. It's front yard.
You're not
gardening.
Okay, cool.
Wife's got some plants.
So I want to know from the comment section why you're here tonight, because I think some fun things are happening tonight.
Yeah.
There's that. I can never do it backwards.
You got it right there, man.
There it is. Right in the bink. I know that of a few people. Hey, Iron Billy.
Iron Billy's on. Iron Billy.
Iron Billy posted some band practice the other day, and they have a built kayak on their wall.
Nice.
And I said, stop kayaking. So this guitar has been given away today, and I think you know that. But we're gonna do that later.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about something that happened yesterday.
All right.
Because I talked about it with Brian when he came over to do this podcast tonight, and I had no plans about putting it in the podcast, but I think you'll see why it's relevant. So yesterday I go to dinner, and I took my kids out for like 2 days before school starts dinner. And while we're trying to keep them kind of corralled before dinner comes.
Because kids will be kids.
Kids will be kids. We're playing with finger puppets, and I popped on Facebook real quick, and I'm in this luthier group. And to try to keep the story short, like, there's various different groups out there for people to build guitars. There's people that build guitars, and it's like professionals helping professional, or I shouldn't even say professional, but people with a certain set of skills also helping people that have sort of an expertise in this skill set. And then there's groups that help people. So like luthiers helping new builders.
Right.
Now, I'm a member of both of these groups because, quite honestly, like, I'm actually kind of new to the scene, but I do have a set of proficiencies, and so I feel like I kind of fit in both places. Well, in the one group that was sort of like professionals helping professionals, this guy posted a picture of his soldering work. Now, soldering isn't exactly lutherie, but it kind of falls in that umbrella. If you're going to build a guitar, you probably need to know how to solder the electronics. And this guy just does not know how to solder openly. Not behind his back, I even said, hey man, it is crap, but there's a difference between saying you're crap and that is crap, but how can we help you past it? You know? And what was really discouraging is I'm sitting in there's like 20 or 30 comments at this point in time, and it's just a bunch of douchebags that are out there absolutely trying to shut this guy down and making fun of him because he can't solder.
I'm sorry, Iron Bimmy 9.
Iron
James,
9.
Jimmy James 9.
9. I remember these guys.
Yeah.
They're back.
They're back. Sorry.
No,
continue.
it's cool. But
yeah.
I reached out to this guy and I said, hey, man, here's the deal. Like, you're going to have some thick skin to be in this group, because a lot of people are running free here with their egos unchecked, and they think that they're, their shit don't stink and whatever.
I'm this big luthier or builder.
Yeah, congratulations, you know how to solder.
Yeah, some people don't.
This guy hasn't gotten there yet. So I reach out. I said, hey, do you have, let's just FaceTime. Let's, I'll put the thing down here and I'll run you through some of the things that I do and we'll get it working better. And blah, 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 blah. And then it turns out he's only a couple 100 miles away and he only wants to go to our show.
Yeah.
It's he's going to go check out a gunslinger show. So the point is that we don't exist in this place where we just hop on YouTube or Instagram and try to say good shit. We take that with us everywhere.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I try to bring this mindset of, we didn't open with the tagline.
Oh, that's right. The
guided look at the ways,
look.
experiences, and ways and means of the guitarist journey. That whole mindset of helping you through. It isn't just a thing that happens here on the podcast. It's I take that with me everywhere because I truly believe we need more of that.
It's about community, and that's what we're building here. It's why you guys hopefully are watching, is because you're getting something out of it that maybe you didn't have before. And that's one of those things. Honestly, it's kind of hard with Facebook groups, right?
It is, because everyone's got a giant keyboard and they lob fucking ego grenades out from behind it.
It's supposed to be a community, but there's so many people that just don't care about that. So keyboard jockeys. I
don't know. I thought it was important to mention because it in that moment. You have when you ride this this ride of. You're launching a podcast, you're trying to help people, you're trying to start your own business, and every once in a while you get these real big valleys where you wonder is what I'm doing worth it? Yeah. And sometimes you find that answer in the moments that there's no money attached to it.
It's the little things, right? It's like you were saying, going the extra mile, which I don't think that you went the extra mile at all.
No, I went an inch. I went an inch.
You treated him like a human being.
Like a human. God, what the hell?
But sometimes that's all it takes. Yeah. You don't have to go an extra mile. So just treat somebody like a human being, and that's when you make those connections. That's when you make the world a little bit better.
Yeah, that's what I think. So, if you have thoughts on that, 9, throw it in the chat. Let's talk about that, because I know it isn't something that just happens to us. We have an opportunity every day, almost every day. I would hope, hopefully every day, to go out there and choose kindness.
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
Which is different than choosing violence. Go get in a fight if you want, but choose kindness. Help the dude up.
There's a time and a place, right?
Time and a place, right? Cool. So we are going to get to the giveaway. What are we giving away today? I don't remember.
What are we giving away?
I didn't actually forget.
You are giving away.
We're giving away a guitar.
The Travis Brown series Zombie Kill.
So if we back up to the 30th of July, Travis Brown of Fleshworks Tattoo won Best of South Sound for Tattoo Artist, and I won Best of South Sound for Best Boutique Shop or something. Best Specialty Store.
Same difference.
It's there's 2 categories. Coincidentally, Travis and I had been working together for a couple brain fart, edit this out.
You had a couple projects.
We had a couple projects. Yeah. We took a certain set of guitars and called it the Travis Brown Artist Series, and it was where I would build a guitar and he would paint the guitar, and then we would work together collaboratively to sell these. And we've got a couple that went at auction and some that went private sales. And we have this Zombie Kill back here, which we decided, since it hadn't sold yet, we decided to use it as an opportunity to say thank you. And so we couldn't say thank you to everybody by giving everybody a guitar, but we gave everybody a chance to chime in and do the standard marketing blitz, right? Come in, like the post, share the post, but most importantly, tell us what it would mean for you to win this guitar.
Yeah, and I think later on we're going to go through some of those responses before getting to the winner.
Absolutely. We had about 75 or 80 people come in with beautiful, beautiful stories.
There's a few that were just like, I don't need the guitar, I just think it's cool, and I wanted to comment.
Yeah, and all the way to ultimately what we picked, and really excited to share that with you in a little bit.
So stick around, it'd be awesome.
That's right. We'll probably do a couple things here, and then we'll talk about the specs of the guitar a little bit, and then we'll delay even longer so you hang out and watch some shit with us.
That's right.
So did you do anything music related this month?
Aside
from Gunslinger.
I've been working so much in my free time on landscaping our front yard and building a shed in my backyard with my drummer.
With the drummer.
Simon. Shout out to Simon. He's a contractor by day and drummer by night.
That's right.
I really haven't had much opportunity other than practicing with Gunslinger and practicing with the Aints, my little cover side project. I will say that coming up, I'm going to do the plug now. We'll do the plug later. Coming up on Saturday.
What kind of plug are we talking about here?
Not a butt plug.
Right.
Gunslinger is playing in Seattle at the Jules May Saloon on Saturday night. So if you're in the Seattle area, come on out. Check us out. Our last practice was epic.
It was.
I think we really kind of stitched it all together. We've got a couple of new tracks on the set list, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I think so much of that good juju falls around a couple songs in particular. They're all good, but there are a couple that are just really, really hard to line up right. And
and I think we nailed them. Hopefully Saturday will be the same. And Lucas is asking who won the giveaway. No one yet. Yes, board is board. Already answered it.
Someone did win.
We just haven't announced it.
I know and you don't. Actually, he doesn't even know, which is really kind of crazy. No, you do. I showed you.
I do. Yeah.
So I went to a couple. I've been at the same Gunslinger practices, and I'm super stoked to play next Saturday.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm specifically excited because it is in South Seattle, and there's so many folks in the Pacific Northwest, and it's difficult for the folks in the northern portion to get down to Olympia or even across the peninsula to go to Port Angeles when we play there. So come out to
Jules May's Saloon.
And I had actually,
it's only $10.
I had been saying if you're Puget Sound area folks, but dude, I met some guy. I got to go to Italy a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, just low key say that, right? It was fucking fantastic. But I met a guy there from the UK who makes it like a personal mission to see how many shows he can see in a given year. Yeah. And like his personal record's I think 180 shows in a year, and he was actually just in Seattle. So I told him, I said, if there's ever another show in Seattle that you're going to go to, you let me know. We'll line up a show on the same weekend because holy crap.
That'd be sweet.
And we play old, British influenced metal. So yeah.
Heck yeah.
But go to the show, even if you're not from the Pacific Northwest. Just come on out. Iron Billy, that's cue for you, man. Hop in the car.
I just got to point out right now, everybody's getting so excited about the giveaway. They really,
I am not giving it to a guy.
We're gonna hold off for a little while longer.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I will totally tell you that it is not going to the UK. For many reasons. Iron, and if it was going to the UK, I would have already taken it with me because I ain't shipping that over there.
Yeah, it's expensive to ship.
But so last show, we talked about the Aaron Crawford build, which went to Aaron. Right. Now, I wish I could show you some footage of Aaron playing the guitar, but it broke. No, it didn't. But he did go and play.
The footage might have.
No. But Aaron was playing down at the Olympic Club in Centralia. And so I went down there and got some video of him because he's just such a great player. And we're going to open. I'm going to play a couple songs from him.
I'm bummed that I did not get a chance to go to that.
The first one is one of his originals. And the second is a cover, and I haven't decided if we're going to go right from one to the other or go back to back, or if we're going to talk about them. But first one, I'm going to let Aaron introduce it. It's a song called "Freedom Like This" off his first album, and yeah, man, let's let him play it.
All right, we're going to go back to the very first song I ever put out. There's actually a lot of history about this song here. See, Matt over here has played this song. Jesse back there has definitely played this song.
This Matt right
one,
here.
I was in a duo for a bit called Crawford and James, and when I went solo, I don't know if you know this, but musicians typically don't have a lot of money. So I already had a duo song recorded, and I thought, well, if we just take his voice off of it and put a girl's voice on, now it's a solo song. So that's what we come up with. This one's called Freedom Like This.
Iron Billy, it's Aaron, A.A., Ron.
with me, middle of the night, miles of highway ahead. Sleep when we're tired, the back of my Mustang. By morning, we'll be across the state line. You take the map, I'll take the wheel. We ain't got nothing but time to keep. Got my life savings in my left pocket. We'll catch hell if they track us down. Your old man probably run me out of town. We could turn around if we didn't want it. Ain't it worth the risk? Freedom like this.
So when I first started playing with Aaron, he was just starting, touring in an old Dodge Durango, and a trailer which barely pulled straight.
Because nobody has money when they're starting out. That's the thing.
And he sent me a Spotify playlist. Like, we got to learn 60 of these tunes and his originals.
Goddamn. How many originals did he have? He was doing 60 covers in his book.
Yeah. Plus, but this is one of the originals of his own. And so this reminds me of just studying hard.
Yeah.
We'll catch hell if they track us down. Your old man probably run me out of town. We could turn around. We didn't want it.
Billions. We will be as quiet as we can.
Freedom like this. We'll take this love around the moon, as far as we can take it. No one could ever break it. You take the map, I'll take the wheel. We ain't got nothing but time to kill. Got my life savings in my left pocket. We'll catch hell if they track us down. Your old man probably run me out of town.
I didn't drink as much as that.
Ain't it worth the risk? Yeah, ain't it worth the risk? Freedom like this.
So what do you think? It's a podcast show about rock and roll. We're playing country ballads.
Hey man, you know what? I mean, he's a guitar player. We're a guitar centered podcast.
Oh
yes,
shit.
we focus on rock and roll.
That's a really good comment. Oh shit, it's an actual venue. I thought it was a basement. No, it's absolutely. It's difficult to zoom in on the performer at this particular venue because it absolutely does look like someone's just singing up against a sheet.
Yeah, well, that's the same sheet that they use to show movies on, right?
It's true. It's true. It's a McMinimans venue in Centralia, Washington. It's a really freaking cool old building, and this one particular, actually, man, like the floor creaks so bad in that building, like you can't sneak in or out.
No.
I mean, it's a great building, but you go in there, and I would love to be able to show what the rest of the theater looks like, but then you don't see Aaron. So
some say it's haunted too.
Really?
If you're into that. It is the Oli Club, the Olympic Club. It's right downtown Centralia. I think it's a block or two from the train station.
Yeah, you get off on if you're going to Centralia. If you're not familiar with it, you probably still, if you're familiar with the area, you're familiar with the outlet mall, right? So you get off at the outlet mall and then you head, I don't know. East. And you go and, and then when you get to Tower, you turn north and it's right there.
Yeah, and like Iron Billy says, as long as the country is good.
Heck yeah.
And we like Aaron. He's a good dude. And that accent, I think, is part of oh, we got fire trucks coming. I think the accent that Jimmy's saying is pretty thick for Washingtonian. It's probably accurate. doesn't talk with much of an accent like that. I think it's more because he is a country singer.
Yeah.
So.
But so when I was talking about how these bring back memories of like actually, getting that repertoire under my fingers to go tour with him for the first time. And what's crazy is that most of this took place studying on a road trip. I'd actually flown out to go see family in Iowa, and I was visiting my now wife's family for the first time in Chicago.
Right.
So I rented this piece of shit Toyota Yaris, like this 3-cylinder.
Sweet.
How fast is this going to go? And did nothing but like listen to this playlist. And so when I think about jamming with Aaron, it was either like, these are the experiences on tour, and these were this like 6 hours of just listening to this Spotify playlist of learning Aaron's tunes up here before I learned them here.
Right.
He closed out the evening with a very cool tune that I'd like to play. You're going to love it.
Yeah, and before we get into that, Jason Shields, thank you for joining us. He said, shouldn't we all toast some trop rock and Jimmy B tonight, too? Apparently Jimmy Buffett has passed away.
That was a weird... We should. Let's do that right now. So, to everything that Buffett did for music.
Let's hope he's having a cheeseburger in paradise.
There you go. Cheers.
All right, yeah.
Let's go back to infringing on copyrights.
That's right, baby.
Did I say something about infringing it? You're going to take me back. What did we talk about?
Just playing other people's music on our show with... I don't know.
Well, yeah, right. Well,
whatever.
It's a creative license.
A creative license, and no press is good. No, all press is good press. No press is bad press. Is that what they say?
So this marketing guy that I'm like paying to go through our shit and make reels for us, it's all depending on us saying cool things. All press is bad press.
No press. We want no press.
Let's do it.
It's mutually beneficial. The same thing when I go to bed tonight, I'm going to lay there and thinking, man, I just played a super cool room that felt like an old school movie theater with people who cared about my songs. So
it was an old school
thank you,
movie
everybody.
theater.
Appreciate it.
Sitting in couches.
Which is funny to say because this next song is not my song. I do wish it was. But
Speaking of copyright
all of the angels, this could take all night. I think I need a devil to help me get things right. Hook me up a new revolution, 'cause this one is a lie. Sarah laughing and watch the last one die. Now I'm looking to the sky to save me. I'm looking for a sign of life. I'm looking for something to help me burn out bright. Now I'm looking for a complication. I'm looking 'cause I'm tired of trying to make my way back home and learn to fly. Think I'm not getting nursing patience, and this could wait one night. I'd give it all away if you give me one last try. We live happily ever trapped in you, just save my life. Run until the angels do everything's alright. Now I'm looking to the sky to save me. Looking for a sign of life. Looking for something to help me burn out bright. Well, I'm looking for a complication. We're looking 'cause I'm tired of trying to make my way back home and learn to fly. To make my way back home and learn to fly. Alone with me, I can't quite make it alone. Try to make this life my own. Fly alone with me, I can't quite make it alone. Try to make this life my own. Looking to the sky to save me. Looking for a sign of life.
Not bad. I think that's a good interpretation.
Doesn't that make a good crossover?
Yeah, that's a good interpretation of it. You know, I will say though, my favorite part of that song is the music video with Jack Black and Kyle Gass.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that music video.
Tenacious D Band.
Right on.
Yes. So we are planning on having Aaron on at some point in the future.
Yeah, he's a busy dude. I mean, even like being able to deliver the guitar to him, you know, a month and a half ago.
In between shows.
It was in between shows.
On his way from one show to another.
Yeah, it was on his way from one show that was local to his next show in Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so we're about halfway through the set, so I think we're going to talk a little bit more about the guitar.
You want to talk a little bit more about the zombie kill?
Yeah.
What makes it the zombie kill?
Well, what makes it the zombie kill, other than the killer-ass zombie on the front and the brains on the back, is we decided to be pretty non-traditional with the way we wired this thing. It's actually the second iteration of its wiring. I wired it. I actually can't remember how I wired it the first time, but ultimately after playing it a bunch, I was like, nah, it's not right. Not that it was wrong. It just didn't suit the guitar.
Right.
I think they had like some kind of... it's got Gibson 490 humbuckers in it, and I intentionally wired them out of phase to get this quack, and then I had 2 volumes and a kill switch, right? Zombie kill. So that's why it's got the kill. And then I decided I didn't like it that way, so it's actually got a master volume, and then it's got a partial coil split. So the second knob isn't a tone. It's actually a partial roll off, so you can go full humbucker and actually like fade out one coil.
You knob.
Yeah, so it's
pretty sick.
It's alder body, maple neck, ebony fretboard. It's got the hip shot locking tuners, Gibson 490 pickups, through the body fixed tailpiece, volume, partial coil split, 3-way pickup selector, and the zombie kill.
Beautiful.
So there she is. And we will give her away.
This is not
right now.
Not the Rye 99 body style.
It is not the Rye 99 body
this
style.
Was previous to
so
that really coming to fruition.
Travis and I got excited about this decision to work together occasionally before I had designed that body shape. So we actually do have a couple Rye 99s. In fact, we'll show one here in a bit.
Really cool photo coming up.
But this was a more traditional, just standard double cutaway that you'd tend to see. I'm pretty sure they are, in fact, in a basement. Well, I don't know.
It's the EGW studios. Thank you very much.
My basement. My basement don't jiggle. It folds. I don't know.
No, that doesn't work.
That doesn't work. Whatever. My basement delivers.
This show, at least.
Okay, so after Aaron Crawford,
you went to another show.
I went to a crazy show. What was the zombie the first one? The zombie was the first or second of the cooperative thing with Travis. Yeah.
Didn't you do the zombie and
we did the zombie and the smog machine at
around
the same
time, right? So.
Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out how that works out, because I'm remembering the serial numbers on the guitars, and those are, in fact, they actually were finished after the first and second Rye 99s were. That's right, because we had cut the bodies, and then I brought them down to Travis, and then developed the Rye 99, and then the bodies came back to me, and then I was already in production. So it's been a really cool experience working with Travis, because a lot of it's like this. It's just like because there's this big art weight.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, a little bit of a gap.
I build the guitar, deliver the guitar, and then you wait for the art, and then in that time you're making like process changes and shit. And so you're up here, and then you come back to something you already built, and it's like, oh well, that's how I built it then. Okay. Yeah. And you just keep like jumping ahead. It's like leapfrog with yourself. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went to a show that I never thought that I was going to go to.
Right. Now, I kind of wish I would have gone to this one as well.
I wish you had gone too. It was really fun.
So the bands were Living Colour. Which, I mean, dude, Cult of Personality was like the anthem when I was a kid, man. Like that was awesome.
And then, when Guitar Hero came out, they got all the younger kids into it too.
Yeah. And that might have been their hit, but they had many other tracks that were as good or better. Just a phenomenal group. One of those groups that, during a time where everybody was white, here's this black band coming out showing, hey, we can do this too.
Yeah. And that was like heavily
really
cool.
cool.
They talked about that a lot because it's actually like the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Right.
And Doug Wimbish was like heavily involved in all these recordings, and so they like
doing the bass lines and
played
all
a bunch
that,
of their they played a bunch of their set, and then they went for like 20 minutes just kind of blending, like doing this montage, like this hip hop montage.
Yeah,
and having the band
awesome.
play over it, and then went back into it and then closed out the set.
And I mean, really, you look back at the 80s and 90s, it's bands like Living Colour, Bad Brains, Fishbone.
Yep.
Right? Those are the, like, for rock and roll, there wasn't a whole lot of black artists coming to fruition being successful like those few were. So, and even Bad Brains wasn't really successful, but they are very well known, especially in punk circles. So, it's really cool to see them out still doing their thing, celebrating the hip hop thing as well.
Yeah.
The 50th anniversary of hip hop, and just still rocking and rolling, man. And they're fantastic musicians.
They're fantastic. Yeah, just keep your eyes on. Well, what we're gonna do, we're gonna play the song you'd expect us to hear, taken from the showbox at the market, and just, man, enjoy. This is illegal. I mean, if you stop buying albums and just listen to our recordings in your car, I imagine you don't do that. It's the spirit. This is education.
Tom Morello learned how to play his guitar like the way he holds it from these guys. I don't know if there was express written consent from the NFL for this, but anything is possible.
Yeah, man, the NFL, that's definitely where I go for my morals and ethics. Non-profit organizations that employ the highest record of spousal abusers. It's, great times.
And he's zooming into the crowd.
Yeah, it was a mistake to try to film him in the crowd. The lighting kind of sucks. So if you're watching, my bad.
That was one of his things, even back in the day. He loved going into the crowd. They're still doing the same thing. Iconic bass line. Look at how many cell phones are. Everybody's recording something. Trying to catch him in the audience. still got it.
Hell yeah, they do. Yeah, man. So what do you think of that? Well, then they still got it. They still got it.
Makes me wish I would have gone, but
well, it was a little nuts when did he walk around that? Yeah, that's what I was trying to. That's right. Iron Billy went to the same show
in Minneapolis.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was trying to show with the bad footage of people's heads.
It's kind of hard to see in the show box, but that's kind of he's always done that. Like even at festivals, he tries to go out into the crowd.
That's what they do at the good festivals.
So then
that was one of my favorite things about like watching Dryden play with Alien Ant Farm. Man, he'd always like surf out and shit.
Yeah. It's Pearl Jam. You see Eddie Vedder do that shit all the time too. So they weren't the headliner of the show, though.
No, they weren't the headliner. The headliner was Only Word.
Yes, that Extreme.
It was extreme. It was extreme.
But everybody who plays guitar is aware of Nuno Bettencourt,
right?
Who plays guitar for Extreme, but and how fantastic he is at guitar.
Yeah, but even those of us that know who Nuno Bettencourt is, it doesn't necessarily mean that we followed Extreme that much.
That's true.
Which was kind of a weird, like, it was this time. There was this experience.
Gary Sharon was in Van Halen for an album.
Yeah,
the worst era of Van Halen.
That's true. That's true. But for me, it was crazy because it's like I spent the entire time wondering, like, why the hell have I not been? Why didn't I? I was listening to Metallica.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Thrash is good.
Watching Nuno play, I'll probably save my thoughts on watching Nuno play until after this piece.
Mm-hmm.
I will warn you, and big props to Gary Sharon. I mean, he's 62 years old, and he's still out there killing it.
Oh, he's got pipes.
He's got pipes. In this recording, I think he sounds a little bit like a Muppet, but he's,
because he kind of is.
He's still killing it. So let's do it. This is their song "Rise" off the new album.
It's already heavier than I would ever expect for Extreme.
Yeah,
it's a little extreme for Extreme, isn't it?
It's true.
I see what you mean.
Kind of sounds like Bert.
Nuno's vocals though sound harmonies. Is it King video? Maybe in the future, baby, if you're lucky.
Dude's animated.
Yeah.
The point of showing this video is coming up after the next verse, which is really, holy hell, the guitar solo.
The guitar solo is shit, but Iron Bimny's got a point.
About Jane's Addiction?
Jane's Addiction does sound like shit these days. No, this is not Jane's Addiction. This is Extreme. He does kind of look like Perry Farrell.
Ben Stiller.
Perry Farrell, a little bit from this distance. I bet you his vocals are a lot better on the recording.
Yeah, no, and that's why this isn't illegal, because you definitely want to listen to the recording, but more than this.
Until it comes to the solo.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the solo in a bit.
Well, from what I understand, we have to talk about that solo.
how fast this is, so when I try to show you something later, you'll know how fucking slow I
play. Jesus. Yeah.
We could just stop there,
yeah,
right? Because that's the point. Like,
he is technically proficient at his instrument, am I right?
He is very technically proficient at the instrument. And what I was... So there was a whole night of that, right? And the thing is that it is so difficult to, for me at least, even as a guitar player, it's hard to separate myself. Like when I watch somebody play like that, I think that you're just playing too many notes. But his musicianship, it's like every note absolutely has a purpose. It's not like watching Yngwie, and it wasn't meant to be a slam on Yngwie. He's a shredder, but
it's not some just masturbatory experience.
Yeah, it isn't just fit as many notes as you can in there, but he absolutely milks it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Nuno is known to be one of the best guitar players out there. I think any guitar player will probably tell you that. And they know his name, they know who he is, they know what he does. So,
well, you know,
that's why.
So I texted, our former guest and Tony Bennington. It's like, hey man, I checked out Nuno the other day, and he said, God, he's like, he's always keeping it interesting.
Yeah, at the very least.
Yeah, he is. So yeah, when I was driving up to Seattle with my buddy who I went with, he was telling me kind of the backstory, and I haven't verified the backstory on this album, but so as
yet to be verified is true.
Well, it's just it's cool because as I understand it, so obviously Gary Cherone doing his thing, doing the extreme thing, and played with Van Halen for a bit in like what 92, 93.
Something like that.
No, it was like 97.
Was it one album or was it two? It was mid 90s.
It was Van Halen 3, and it was like 1997. And eventually left the band, and everyone remained amicable, right? And they're all buddies. So fast forward to 2020.
I think David Lee Roth was let back in at that point because they were like, well, we may not get along, but God damn it, you're still Van Halen.
So as the story was told to me, Nuno's in his apartment tracking the solo to Rise, and his phone rings, and it's Gary. Says, hey, come on out here, I need to talk to you downstairs. He's like, no man, I'm busy doing this, blah 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 blah. No, really, we're waiting, come on downstairs, we want you to talk to you. And he's like, what do you mean we? And he goes down to the car, and it's Gary and Eddie, and Eddie is just like, I would really like to hear this solo that you're working on. And Nuno did not, it wasn't ready.
It's like, no, it's not ready.
It wasn't ready. Had to be perfect. And before he had a chance to hear it, Eddie passed.
Yeah.
But like that, to me, man, that was heartbreaking to hear that, And,
yeah, because I'm sure that he wanted his friend to hear it.
I would be going out and playing, like, there's no room for mistakes in that. There's the record, like, that's why it sounds exactly on stage as it does on the album.
Yeah.
It's this magical thing. And I remember seeing comments when this was this came out, and then it really got a lot of traction when Rick Beato did, like, he featured it on his podcast, which annoyed the hell out of Nuno because he's like, why did it take your podcast? I mean, he was a gentleman about it, but it's just like, it got a lot of traction really fast, and the number of times I saw this is the best guitar solo to come out in the last 15 years. It's fucking true.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The intervals, the speed, everything.
Yeah, man, I came home and I started, when you go and you see a player like that and it either inspires you to practice or it inspires you to quit. And this was like,
I would quit.
This was one of the first times I was like, okay, challenge accepted. And so like for the last 3 days, I've been trying to work on that arpeggiated hammer on. It's double picked, and sometimes it's hammer on, and other times it sounds like there's a delay. So on my Pod Go over here, there is a slight delay on it, but even when you play it just straight through an amp, the way it's written, it sounds like there's a delay.
Interesting.
It's when you play it, you have to listen to what you're playing in order to start practicing it. But then once you start getting it up into the close to speed range, if you start listening to what you're playing, the delay illusion fucks you up. And then you think it's a delay, but it's you playing it. If you stop, the music stops.
Right.
And the whole damn thing falls apart.
That's funny.
Get into the podcast drama. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Maybe we should transition now into what's on your bench. What have you been working on this last month?
Lots of repairs. They all came in at once.
All of them.
Which was crazy because like there were like no repairs in July.
You had one famous guitar come through.
Oh shit, we had the Rick Springfield guitar.
That's right.
I had a customer.
What was it? The 30th anniversary of the
35th anniversary.
35th.
Jesse's girl. Yeah, customer calls me up and says, "Hey, I've got a guitar that my wife wanted at an auction. It's not worth anything except for Rick Springfield played it.
It's autographed.
It's autographed. Yeah. So go check out Instagram. Check that guitar out.
That's pretty funny.
It is fun. I don't know how he played it on stage because it wasn't playable. Like it just wasn't playable. They must have turned him off.
I guarantee you that it was all fucking. It's a track. It's a backing track.
Yeah.
It was Milli Vanilli.
But now it shreds,
Nice.
and so we got
either that or they fucked with it before selling it off so that it wouldn't play. But
so let's.
What else has you been working on though? You've been working on.
There's one guitar that's in build right now that I've got some video on. But before I show you that, I want to show you this. You asked about this other guitar that we worked on with Travis Brown.
That's true. Yeah.
So we have this. This was really cool. I got a message the other day. One of the guitars that we worked on with Travis went to auction.
And what was that auction for again? It was a school.
That was for a school.
Thing?
It was for a school. I don't. Yeah. And it went for $3,000, and then the guy who won it gave it to his kid, who's also like an aspiring guitar player, and he's got a bunch of guitars, and he's actually a pretty good player. And what was really crazy is I got a message one day from the guy who plays the guitar, and he says, "Hey, I want to try my hand at building one, but I'm having some trouble. Can I bring it over to you?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, man, bring it over. Let's meet." So he brings over this Flying V that he's working on.
Nice.
And puts it together.
Good taste.
Yeah. And we had to like set up the bridge and everything because it wasn't pre-drilled or nothing. So we like took the measurements and I showed him like scale length and this and that and this and that.
Jimmy wants you to
replicate
the guitars, both Milli.
Yeah, let's do that. So we get him set up and
they're right here, man.
And I send him on his way with this Flying V. And I swear to God, 2 days later, he's on Instagram playing this Flying V. So this kid's got an aptitude for building as well.
Yeah.
It's very cool. So then fast forward a couple more days, and I'm driving through West Olympia, and I'm waiting left at a left-hand turn lane. It's red light. And oncoming traffic has a green light. And this truck pulls up, window to like driver's side window to driver's side window with me, and just stops. Rolls down his window, goes like this. And
do you have any grape
what the fuck did I do? And I roll out my window and I'm trying to be friendly, and he's like, "Tristan is so happy that you helped him with his guitar, man." I'm like, "Oh, you're his dad?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, so apparently my truck now stops traffic.
Nice.
Like everyone's behind him honking. He's like, "Whatever, man, I'm talking to him."
I'm talking it. I'm talking it.
So I was like, well, I guess that was a win. Anyway, he reaches out the other day and he says, "Hey, we wanted to send you a senior picture because I think it might be meaningful to you." And then I asked if I could use it with permission. He's like, "Absolutely, do it." So this is that's our guitar. It's an EGW Rye 99 Travis Brown Artist Series.
And this was, what did you call this one?
This was the Buried Treasure.
The Buried Treasure. Because it's got the skull and crossbones, the Jolly Roger.
Yeah, and just crazy ass paint job, and it plays like so fucking good.
That's fantastic.
Super cool that, small stuff like that is happening, and that's the meaningful thing. It's like it's a very, very small brand, but it's people. It seems to mean something to people. So
heck yeah,
hell yeah. Right now, we're building another one of these. So I had a customer call me and said, "Hey, I want to do one of your Rye 99s, but I don't want it to be a direct hardware mount. I want to kind of set it up like a Strat." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." So now I got to design a pick guard.
Yeah.
Because this guitar was never designed for that.
Right. So let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
We talked about this before the show. The Rye 99 is a body shape.
Rye 99 is a body shape.
But it is completely customizable. So
yeah,
this one has some features that no other Rye 99s have.
Because some Rye 90, there's a hollow body, there's a semi-hollow body, there's a bunch that are chambered. When you chamber a guitar, it introduces certain aspects that you have to, or limitations rather, or restrictions or parameters, right? You put a big hole inside a guitar, you cut through it and you have a problem, right?
But you also have more resonance.
Yeah,
on the inside.
it's arguable, like
Whether or
some
not
of
that
it's weight
works with
relief, some of it's tone related, but whatever you want to build, we can do. But this customer wanted something. His words to me were, "If I'm a cowboy, this is my rifle."
Right.
Yeah. So to me, I interpreted that as, okay, well, first of all, I have to design a pick guard for this thing, which I settled on a design that I love, and it makes me think it's like a Swiss Army knife. And the body contouring is so extreme.
Customizable, like different colored Rob Zombie.
Yeah, different
covers.
colored Rob Zombies. Fuck yeah, man.
Of course. Every time.
And then we went with a really aggressive body contour, like a comfort cut and a belly cut. And the reason that's important to bring up now before I watch the video is because, so I'd gotten the guitar to the point where I was ready to do the contouring, and I was having a conversation with John Beeson of Wood Spirit Guitars.
Right.
Because he just happened to call me because he was getting back from Greece. Because he delivered,
that was a crazy.
He delivered his guitar to Matt Long of Catfish, and he met up with Kingfish and King Wayne Shepherd and Joe Bonamassa and all these people on the Greek blues cruise. And so he was coming back into town, and he called me up. It's like, hey, let's get together soon. I said, all right, what are you doing today? I got to do the comfort cut on this guitar, and I just hate doing that because I have yet to find a way that I really, really like. It's a risky maneuver depending on how you do it. And he said, well, just do it this way. And I said, I haven't thought about doing it that way. So what I did is I actually used a router, and I kind of stair stepped it down like a pool, and then rasp it, and then sand it, which allows you to like completely. If you're not using a cat, like if you're using a CNC, it's all computer done.
Yeah,
cheaters.
Well, and I've seen other people use like certain kinds of saws, like a bandsaw,
you
or
saw
whatever,
into it.
that you can saw.
Yeah.
You have to like really be precise if you're sawing.
I've done that too. It's
trying to cut the whole thing, so it's a little bit more.
It's a little risky.
Yeah.
For many reasons. And the cleanup can be a little difficult too, because when you're actually coming at it with the saw, it doesn't necessarily take it off in uniform precision, so you're cleaning up.
Right.
So I've done it like 5 or 6 different ways. I don't like any of them, and he says, try this way, and I do it, and that's my new favorite. So you'll see some of that in this video. The Rye 99. So this is the introductory. This is me with a slab of ash, and it's getting the center line on and putting.
That's right. You got that slab of ash.
Slab of ash. Yeah, that's right. And we mark out where the neck pocket's going to be, and this is the
template for
the template for the pick guard. Right. So now it's like, okay, because we've never actually done this before. So it's like, okay, well, where are the pickups going to fit, and then where are we going to channel it for the electronics, and how do I make this work with that? And this is all just freehand shit. You can do it on a computer and kind of have a hybrid model for that, but. It's fun for me to just kind of dive in and say, well, let's make it work. So at this point, what we're doing is actually putting a template down because he wants a trem on it. And this is a 2-part process because you route down the trem pocket where the trem block goes through, where the bridge sits on top of the guitar. And on the flip side, you have to route out the cavity. So the two have to match up perfectly. And that's what we're doing here. And I was actually live streaming this on TikTok at the time, so there's some pauses because I'm explaining what I'm doing. But this is where the springs get recessed into, and then it shows the functionality of how the bridge will rock back and forth in there. So that's where that's routing that in. And then what I do is I route in the neck pocket based on those measurements. And then I believe I did not capture the video of routing out the body cavity, but actually did that freehand. But this is, you see how that looks all super ugly? It's because I'd cut down through there with a router. Like calculate how much depth do I want to achieve over how much distance, and each line is going to be approximately this. So you get all these peaks, and you hit them up with the rasp, and then hit them with the orbital sander, and you get this crazy, like, check out how narrow that relief is right there.
Super narrow.
Like, I'm stoked.
That's going to be extremely comfortable.
Yeah. And aggressive looking, man. We go from we go from almost 2 inches, because it's like as thick as a Les Paul, down to about 1/4 inch or less. And iron, would not allow me a video of routing out a body cavity. But yeah, no, I dig the way the shape of this pit guard complements the shape in one regard of the body and then also completely goes against it.
Yeah.
So like there's equal like dissonance and complementary stuff going on here.
For
I
sure.
guess we should make us bigger.
Yeah.
Cool.
No black screen.
So that's what's on my bench right now.
Heck yeah. So our next show, you'll have the finished product of that
Yeah, we'll have that on the
completed.
show. Yeah.
And from what I understand, maybe a bass?
Yes,
Maybe
a couple.
a bass?
There's a couple bases.
Couple basses?
There's two bases that are. Yeah, I designed I designed a bass on the way to Italy. Guy wants a 30-inch scale 6-string bass.
That's
And he doesn't want
ridiculous.
He doesn't want Kiesel to build it. He wants me to build it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh fuck. So I sat there on my with
one
Adobe
more
Illustrator.
new thing to try to figure out.
So we're gonna jump on over. We want to make people happy. It's time to do a guitar giveaway.
Yay!
Does everyone finally hear that? We're gonna stop playing music. We're gonna stop talking about life.
No more NFL.
No more NFL. No more plagiarism. No more copyright violations. What I am doing is I am going to a screenshot of the response of the individual who is winning this guitar.
This guitar right
that
there.
guitar.
Not that guitar.
That guitar. Yeah, he played that Flight of the Bumblebee with the metron. I'm just stalling.
Yeah.
So we got about 75 or 80 responses.
Yeah,
Again,
board is exited.
that's right. Exited. All right.
Just kidding. We know you're excited.
I first want to say thank you to everybody who chimed in. There can only be one winner of the guitar.
Uno.
But, and I'm not bullshitting you. I appreciate every one of you so much who comes to support the brand, the business, the podcast, everything, supporting musicians that don't even have anything to do with us. To me, when I saw these, like 75 to 80 responses come in through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I think a couple came in through YouTube. But I aggregated them all, read them all. Travis read them all. We sat down, we talked, we said, all right, top three. Came with the top three, discussed those top three, and we picked one.
So do you have any honorable mentions you want to discuss at all? You remember any of those, or do you have any screenshots of those? Or a generalization of what the post might have been that was got your guys' attention?
The one, I would say there was one honorable mention. You know, we said top three. What was really memorable was number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, make me pull it out of my ass. There was a family guitar which went to a brother, or there was one guitar that was supposed to, it couldn't be split between two kids, you know, and
Right.
one person got it, and it would be very meaningful to have another one so that they could sort of make up that gap. And I don't have all the details in my head. So thanks for ruining that moment.
Sorry.
No, but I'm going to get right to,
Iron Billy, we're happy to have you, as well as everybody else that's here. Jimmy, Bimmy, Board is Board, my mother, everybody else.
so I'm going to read you the response. Hi guys, I know the rules say post on this thread what this guitar would mean to me, but I do not want our guitarist to see it in case you choose him as the winner. I'm the drummer for Souls Worn Thin. I did share your post on my Facebook page, but I blocked my guitarist and his family from seeing it. I've never heard of EGW guitars, but when I went to follow, it shows that my guitarist is already following you, so I'm surprised he hasn't seen your post yet. My guitarist's name is Steven, and he is a 20-year disabled vet that has been blown up multiple times. He started this band during COVID and has really taken off, and his family has done nothing but great things for the community. His wife reminds me of Travis Brown, of Travis's wife, and the fact of how generous she can be to a total stranger. We play a lot of benefit shows, and the shows that we do get paid, Steven, our guitarist, does not take a dime. I could go on, but I just want to say it would mean the world if he won this guitar. So, Steven, via Josh White, you are the winner of the zombie kill. And I want to say personally, thank you for being, a bright light in the world, man. You sound like an awesome dude, and Josh stood up for you, and I hope that you get a lot of use out of this guitar, and I hope you play the hell out of it, and use it to make good music and continue to spread positivity.
Bimmy nominated Jimmy, and Jimmy has an acceptance speech all worked out, but it's not safe for work.
Can we bring them on the show?
We're gonna have to. I think.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have to at some point, just to hear that.
Yeah.
But
so I don't know where Josh is located, but we will either pack this thing up and get it mailed off, or if you're somewhere within a couple hours, we will meet you, or I will meet you, or Travis and I will meet you. But we will get you the guitar and trust that it will be delivered to Stephen.
Messages will be sent.
We're gonna really enjoy
pigeons
this.
And whatnot.
Really gonna enjoy the passive voice on this one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! So congratulations, Josh
awesome.
White and Stephen.
Very deserving winner.
Absolutely, I think so.
I mean, they're helping build a community like we are, like what we're doing here with the podcast, what you're doing with your business.
Yeah. It's a really tough thing to sit down with that many responses and pick one. So thank you to everyone who entered, and please do not feel that we were not touched by your responses as well, because it was just a tough call.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. All right.
On. Well, we are hitting the hour mark.
We are hitting the hour mark.
We've
Man,
given
good
away the
job
guitar.
for us. Good job for us.
I know we're actually staying pretty close. Who's Travis? Travis is the artist that did the painting.
Travis Brown of Fleshworks Tattoo is the tattoo artiste.
And there's several guitars that are in the Travis Brown artist series.
Iron Billy asked, what is the band's name again? That was...
I want to say that it sounded like a familiar band name too. There were
Souls Worn Thin. That's right. I remember that because when I was discussing with my wife, she said, "Is that a Stone Temple Pilots thing?" And I actually couldn't connect the dots. She's like, "You know that
it's a line.
It's a line on Big Empty."
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
It's one of my karaoke tunes.
So, I guess since we're coming up on it, what do we have coming up next? I mean, besides the Gunslinger show that we're playing this Saturday here in the Seattle area,
September 9th at Jules May Saloon.
Mm-hmm. It's $10. Doors are at 8. Music starts at 9. We'll be on around 10.
On the first Tuesday of October, we will feature singer-songwriter out of Florida, Francesca Tarantino.
Yeah, it's a fantastic young artist.
Good vocalist.
She's really starting to make a name for herself.
Yeah, got a huge following on the socials at least, and has got a really good voice, especially for a young kid. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're gonna feature her. We are bringing back Los Ocupados.
That was our first musical guest.
First musical guest
that we ever had.
They've got an album coming out, so we are going to do an unplugged set with them. And then in December, we will have Sam Corey, who is a Olympia, Tacoma area actor and fantastic vocalist. Yeah,
and you guys are going to be tracking a tune together.
Yeah, we had done a musical together in 2012 called Bucket of Blood, and there was in that musical we did a duet of or a bass and female vocalist version of Fever. Doom, 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 that one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna record that and then hopefully have it on the podcast too.
Yeah. Right on. Well, this has been real fun. I'm glad that all of you guys have stuck around with us for the hour to see the giveaway, and I hope that you enjoyed the show as well and weren't just looking for the guitar.
Yeah.
We were trying to give you real good content, and that's why we've gone month to month now instead of every other week. We're trying to build better content. We've done a lot of different stuff with the formatting of the visuals. Hopefully everything sounds great. We are not only on YouTube, but we are also on Spotify. You should look for it within 2 or 3 days of the live. It'll be up on Spotify to watch or hear as well. So
That's right.
tell your friends that don't want to watch us on YouTube. They can watch us or listen on Spotify. Check out our socials.
And go check out the store too.
Check out the store.
Not that I need you to buy anything, but we just made this cool Mother Bucker logo, which I stuck it on a hat, and I ordered one for me because, man, it's cool. Go check it out. It's cheap.
Mr. Jason Shields is asking if we could do a Desert Island Disc episode to pick 8 tracks or albums that we couldn't live without on an island by ourselves. I think that would be an easy show to
That's
put
a great
together.
show. That's a great
And I
idea.
think
Yeah, let's do it.
That would be, I have an idea for a guest or a couple of guests
Yeah.
potentially for that. So we'll leave that to the future.
Thank you, Jason.
But thank you. That's a great idea.
Hell yeah.
Maybe that's a question we can ask future guests as well.
That's a standing question for each future interview.
Yeah.
Let's go back and ask Steve Lynch what he would.
What are the top 8 tracks or albums you couldn't live without on an
I'm really
desert
glad that I got through this whole episode without trying to play the Rise solo.
island? Yeah, me too.
Wow.
For your sake.
Dick.
I just don't want you to have an anxiety attack.
I would absolutely have an anxiety attack. All right. Until then, fret less.
Rock more.